All right, so let's have a look in some of the metrics of the braking test that we're using while measuring with the V-Box from Race Logic. And we're going to be talking a lot of MFDD, AMS, and also Rock back. Okay, so to start with, I'm just going to show you guys about the MFDD. So it stands for Mean Fully Developed Deceleration. And basically what this is doing, all this calculation and equation here, it's looking at 80% of the speed of our braking test until 10% of that speed and measuring the brake performance along that area, let's say in this graph here. Okay. And they do this because they want to take away the reaction time of the driver or rider, okay, and also the suspension acting when you brake, okay, because that influences the brake performance. So what happens is that they take away this area to make sure that they're going to be measuring the most steady, let's say, and when the brakes are performing the best. So in this area here, they calculate the deceleration of the vehicle and they stand that into a metric called MFDD, okay, and that is done in meters per second square. In this case here, the vehicle that we were testing were going into 9.025 meters per second square in deceleration during this area. So this MFDD is used for compliance in safety for the industry. So motorbikes, they need to be above 4.4 if I'm not wrong. And this motorbike here actually measure 9.025, which is pretty much twice as the minimum required for compliance. Then we're going to be talking about the AMS. So AMS stands for Auto Motor Sport, if I'm not wrong, which is a German magazine that create a braking test to check the fading of the brake. So if you look in Google, if you search for it, it will explain what is a test, why they created a test, and it's been used in the industry as well. But in the race logic, this metric here actually is going to be telling you how long it will take to complete the brake test if you had the best performance of your brake measured by the MFDD from the get-go. Okay, so in this case, my test was measuring 17.76 meters to go from 60 to 0. But if I had the braking into the best performance the whole time, I would have stopped in 15.45 meters. So that's what the AMS distance in our test will be saying. And what I would like to touch as well is the rock back. So because the GPS is usually placed in a position above the center of gravity of the vehicle, okay, it's been impacted by the inclination or pitch of the vehicle when it brakes. And that changes a lot of the metrics, okay, in terms of measurement of the braking performance and velocity of the unit. So in order to reduce that impact, what happens in the end is that when the vehicle stops, it bounces back, okay, to the original position, crossing the horizontal, going back and forward. So what we were advised to do is that we need to see by the longitudinal acceleration of the measurement when the rock back starts and finish, which is this area here. So in some of the tests, this speed is around 1 kilometer per hour, but in our test, it was measured around 5 kilometers per hour, as you can see here. So what we actually going to be doing in our test is that we're going to go to the setup, and we're going to set the end speed to be actually 5. So we want to take out of the equation this rock back, okay? And as you can see, it just dropped a little bit the distance to the braking. Okay, so it went from, it is now 17.35, and before, if you check before, from 0, it was measuring 0.76. Okay, so it's a little bit, it doesn't impact much, but give us a better result, or let's say a more repeatable and also more accurate result of the braking performance of the vehicle that we are assessing. Okay, in a nutshell, this is the metrics or the attributes in this table here that I'd like to talk about. And stay tuned, we're going to be testing a few motorbikes. Maybe you're going to test the motorbike that you have, so you can see how it performs in this test, which is the industry standard nowadays. Thank you very much.